All right. I think that most of the important crew are here, and I don't want to delay too long, so I'm going to kick things off. If you could please, if you're not one of the one of the presenters and you're not presenting, please put yourself on mute. The way that we're going to do this is I'm going to give a quick intro. I'm going to let each of the sponsors, Joe from Palm Beach Tech, Sasha from City Furniture, give a quick intro as well. And then we'll jump right into the hiring managers. We have City Furniture, DNA for Insta, Karoline and Vishal from SRT Labs. We have Synergis Creative, and we should have at some point, I'm hoping, Secberus. So we'll give a chance for each of those people to give a brief introduction of their company, the positions that they're hiring for, what they're looking for. And then in the end, we should have time for a nice Q&A where you can actually ask them one-on-one questions and hopefully get some good answers. One thing I also encourage our hiring managers to point out, I know that oftentimes when we write job descriptions, we'll put like 20 things, like this is what our dream candidate is. Veronica's already smiling. When I'll talk to people who say like, oh, I only have 17 of those 20. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that's perfect. Like, that's amazing. And they're like, yeah, but I don't have X, Y, and Z. And, they're focusing on like the couple of things that they're missing rather than the fact that they have almost everything that you're looking for. So, if you're like dead set on something, make sure to, point that out. But if you have a little flexibility, I know City Furniture is really big on training their employees and doing a lot of training, on the job training, which is something that I know a lot of developers look for. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to spotlight myself and give you a quick spiel about Boca Code and myself. So I'm Todd Albert. I am the founder and lead instructor at Boca Code here in Boca Raton, and proud Palm Beach Tech member, and, which is an awesome community. I'll let Joe tell you a little bit more about that. We're a code school here in Palm Beach County. We also have an apprenticeship program. That means we have the ability and bandwidth for some of our instructors and former students to take on projects for the local community at kind of a discounted rate. So we have development work available for small businesses. It's kind of small to medium projects. We also have training, even if you're already a developer, you want to learn UX, you want to learn React, you want to learn a new skill, game development. We offer short courses. So we also offer job services like this to the community, not just to our students. So please, I encourage you, go to bocacode.com, click join Slack. It's one click and you could be part of our community. I also really encourage you, if you're not already a member, to join Palm Beach Tech, which I'm going to pass the mic over to Joe Russo so he could tell you all about the unique and amazing community that he's created over the last 5 years.
I wouldn't say created. I would say, try to put up a flag for, but the community is, it's an everybody thing. It's guys like Todd, it's guys like Damien, putting together little bits and pieces everywhere. And I try and just put together as many puzzle pieces as I can. So thank you everybody for joining this little shindig today. My name is Joe Russo. I'm the CEO of the Palm Beach Tech Association. We are a nonprofit organization based, now just online, as I think a lot of people are. We have a very small team, myself and Nikki, Monica, and a few really awesome interns and other folks that really make our organization possible. I really quick want to just share our screen, which I cannot, apparently. But if you go to palmbeachtech.org, you will find our website, and there's a lot of resources on there for those who are looking to find a job or those who are just simply looking to get connected. You can check in the chat there, and it's was shared right now. But most importantly, if you go to the careers tab, we have this two-way street for finding gigs and finding jobs. One, our career board. So companies like City Furniture and DNA for Insta can post jobs there freely as their membership
You can
allows
share
them
now.
to. Oh, perfect. So again, two-way street. So you can go here and go to our career board, and you can find some jobs down here that we check to make sure they are actually open currently. During this time, we obviously know that there were hiring freezes, and then the resume distributors. So this is something that we've created some partnerships around. And if you put your resume in here, it'll go to all of our member companies, and everybody will have the access to look at your resumes on a portal online. It's not accessible for recruiters, so this is just for companies. So we don't want people who are looking as a staffing recruiter, kind of the intermediary. We want to try and directly connect job seekers to job hirers as quickly as possible. So that was thanks to a grant from the Knight Foundation. Also, a couple other points that you might find interesting. We do have a podcast. We do have some news and some updates. You can follow along down here, and you can also join our Slack. We have about 3,200 people on it. Todd's on it as well, pretty actively, but also just ways to kind of keep engaged as much as you can be. And the more engaged you are, the easier it's going to be to stay fluid in the tech industry. If you're switching jobs, if you're looking for new opportunities, the more active you are, the easier it'll be. If you're interested in joining as a member, it is $50. We do send you a member box. Don't feel inclined to do that, especially if you're out of work right now. But you can go to our Join Now tab and learn more. And there's just a whole bunch of other information on here that you can check out. Again, we're a nonprofit. I do this because I'm a nerd who loves his hometown and wants to make South Florida the best possible place it can be for tech. And, frankly, I just love the people and hanging out with folks like those on this call and just having nerdy conversations and thinking bigger about the world. So I'm really glad Todd invited me and this whole thing together. So, I'm going to end my rant, but thank you so much. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free.
Sorry, Joe, I wasn't trying to mute you.
No, you're set. I was done actually when I saw that.
Actually, do you want to possibly mention the I know Nikki just put it in the chat, but the virtual career expo on July 15th.
It's coming up on July 15th. We were doing another virtual career expo. We did one last month, and it was so successful. We wanted to do another one over the summer, considering still a lot of impacts are going on. So that'll be on July 15th. It's still a little bit out, of course, but you can go on our website and go under the events tab to find it. And I believe Nikki just posted it there. It's a virtual career fair. So you'll see all the companies that are participating. You can click on them, learn more about them, and you can see their exact jobs that they have open, and you can apply with one click type of action. So you go on, you put your entire information on, and then you can click apply several times. We had over 900 applications submitted in our last career fair. So hopefully we hit that 1,000 mark this time.
Awesome, Joe. Thank you so much. Palm Beach Tech, it's really an incredible community. I encourage everyone to join if you're not already a member. Thank you to Joe and to Nikki. I want to pass things over to our other co-sponsor, Sasha Rodriguez from City Furniture. Just going to tell you a little bit about City Furniture, and I think she has a lot of jobs, last I checked, to tell you about. So here's Sasha.
Hi, I am the corporate recruiter here at City Furniture. I primarily staff for work with my technology leaders, developers. So thank you for inviting me, Todd. I'm excited to be here. I don't know if any of those know anything about City Furniture, but we're a family-owned business, and we truly like to keep that culture going throughout each department and each showroom. The company's been around for close to 50 years. We are growing into the Central Florida market, and not only we're growing in showrooms, but our technology is enhancing year over year. We're really seeing an improvement there and in the stores and on the site. So if you haven't shopped online, please check it out. We actually have one of our lead developers over the e-com site here on the Zoom chat. That's Izzy. Say hi, Izzy.
Nice.
You don't have to speak. So we are back in business and are really seeing growth. So we are looking for great talent to help in our corporate IT development teams. We're seeking 2 senior full stack developers. We are seeking senior software engineer. And I also have our senior director of analytics here. He is not showing his face, but he is on there. I did see him. He has about 5 positions in the pipeline for his analytics team, as we have been working together to help him grow his team over the last couple of years. Right, Ian? We also have Lauren Winston. She's one of our lead UX UI designers for our team. So when you check out the site, she is part of that success there too, and the customer experience. And we are looking for a UI designer. So that's just a little bit about what we have in the pipeline, and we have more growth in our tech world. So that's why I love partnering with Todd and Nikki and Joe, really just getting ourselves out there. People don't really see us as a technology company. So we like to consider ourselves just a technology company that just so happens to sell furniture. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like I'm missing something? I don't know.
Sell excellent furniture.
Yes, we have excellent furniture at an affordable price for you. So.
I think somebody else on your team was trying to chime in.
Yeah. I was just saying, Sasha, that Rabia is also here.
Oh, Rabia. He's one of our leaders on IT development side. He actually is seeking let's see, what is the senior lead software engineer. And he will have a couple other positions on his team as well. So Rabea, say hello to everyone. No, he's not going to talk. But yeah, definitely we look for skill set. You were right, Todd. Skill set is there. We do have a learning and development department, and we are all about growing internally. We do want a strong skill set, but also culture fit is great too for us to fit the family.
Hey, this is Robbie, by the way. This is Robbie. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say hi. I was on mute. So.
Oh, okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Robbie.
So is it, you guys do about 10% of your hours are spent in training? Is that still true?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Dedicated time and learning and development.
Yeah, keep that in mind if you're looking to apply there. Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And real quick, this is Chad. I'm with City Furniture too. I'm our vice president and deputy CIO.
Thanks, Chad.
And I'm really excited to see so many of our folks join the call. I think we've got 5 or 6 on here of our leaders.
Yeah.
You know, if you've never been to City Furniture, I would just say come check it out. I would say the last 10 people that we've hired over the last year, 2 years, they definitely were blown away when they came to City Furniture to apply for a job and they thought it was a furniture store. And then after they were hired, I would say almost every person, called me or texted me and said, I'm blown away by the things that you guys are doing and the technology that you're using. And I had no idea that you were capable or that that furniture store could be doing these types of things. So when Sasha says that we are a technology company that sells furniture, that is where we're going, and that's where we have to go to be able to compete against Wayfair and Amazon. Rooms to Go in El Dorado, we don't really see them as our main competitors anymore. yeah, they are our local competitors, but we're competing against Amazon and Wayfair because they're trying to eat our lunch. They're the ones that are taking our business, not Rooms to Go, not Eldorado. So our bar is to compete with Amazon and Wayfair, which is a pretty high bar, right? So we need to build the systems, the technology, and get the right folks on our team that can do that and that can help us build that roadmap. So if you haven't been by, please stop. It's hard to stop by now, but 2 months ago I would have said please stop by, come see our cafe, and we can show you what we're working on. But we'll have to figure out a way to do that virtually now, which I know we'll be able to do.
Well, we do have great associates in the showroom that are scheduling private appointments for customers. So, and I want anyone who's on here, we are following safety guidelines, probably the best safety guidelines in the state.
Somebody was asking in the chat if you guys are on Amazon.
No, we're not. We're not on Amazon right now. Right now they just want too much money. Too much of a cut. So maybe one day we'll get there if we can get the right business model. But right now we are not. We do use Amazon Web Services for part.
I was going to say I'm applying to one of the positions right now, and I have to hit backspace a couple of times when I say I worked at AWS, right? I'm sorry. I apologize. Please continue.
Yeah, no worries. So we use AWS, but we do not sell our product on Amazon Marketplace.
Great. Anything else from City Furniture before I pass the mic? Okay.
I think there's a question in the chat about elaborating more on the tech stack we use. I don't know if
Robbie, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
But
from my side, so we have a mixed stack, and Ismail can help me out on all the channels that we have, but mainly we're a JavaScript shop right now. We're trying to work along with a 40-year-old language also that we have in our system of record, which is RPG. But we try as much as possible to use the latest technology. We tried to rewrite our platform right now in TypeScript, moving away from old ES5. We try as much as possible to integrate everything related to continuous integration and make life easier for our developers. Our developers are technically needy. They want everything fast. They want everything to be happening right now, which is awesome. I consider that this is one of the advantages that we have, because they just love to continue improving the platform. So infrastructure as code, as Chad was mentioning, AWS is one of the biggest services that we use. So it's a fun environment, technically and non-technically.
Yeah. And what do you guys use for the on the UX sides? They're asking if you use Balsamic or InVision.
Ismail would be your best guy in this.
So hi guys. No, Lauren actually would be.
Lauren is going to speak on that.
Yeah, I'm the lead UX UI designer for City Furniture. So in terms of UX UI, for prototyping, we use InVision. I don't know if there's any other designers on here, but I'll just let you know that we also use Sketch. So Sketch and InVision are the main things that we use. Some of the other designers who kind of dabble in digital design as well as UX UI will use any kind of Adobe Suite product. But those are the two that we kind of keep standard.
Yeah, and also the way that we have found to work together between the designers and the developers, the front-end developers, specifically, is via the design system. So if you guys want to know more about that, we can also explain further. But the main idea is a common language between the mockups that the UX designers are creating and how we can translate that to the front end in a common language, minimizing the CSS code that we have to write, right? So that's also, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to Izzy's point, in terms of what we're kind of looking for in a candidate, We definitely are looking for somebody who has experience in either designing and developing a design system, or at the very least utilizing one. So going beyond just a style guide, and really knowing and being willing to learn about a design system. So that's definitely a key thing that we're looking for.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. There's a few more questions, but to keep us on track, I'd like to pass things on to our next hiring manager, and maybe the questions about the analytics positions can be held for the Q&A after the hiring managers get a chance. So I'm going to pass things over to Montesh from DNA for Insta, and hand it over to you. Thank you. Make sure to come off mute, Montesh.
Better? Yes, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
there we go.
Cool. Thank you, Todd. So guys, I'm the CEO for DNA for Insta. Just to give you a little bit of background from us, we started as a fashion app about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, that offered on-demand style opinions from verified stylists 24/7, and we grew to about 70,000 users pretty quickly. But we came across one major pitfall, and that was retention. After we dove into the data quite a bit, we found that our user retention was quite a bit lower, was actually very low compared to our stylists. And not that they were just logging in to answer questions from our users, but that they were actually interested in the analytics data that we provided for Instagram on showing them their engagement and their follower growth from their interactions with our users. And at that point, we decided to make the pivot into what's now DNA for Insta. And we're helping humanize Instagram analytics. So our true mission is to empower their confidence. Sorry, to empower their influence in general. It wasn't easy, but it took us about 7 months to get through the approval process for Facebook and Instagram together, to grab more user data and more analytics on a different level. And now anybody that has an Instagram business account can sign in to DNA and use it. What they'll be able to find is the best times to post, best hashtags to use to gain organic reach, plan their grid and schedule posts. And we're now partnered with a platform that's parallel to IBM's Watson for machine learning to help figure out the best colors, images, scenery, and anything else that will help prove overall engagement on more of an automated level. So we're heading into some really, really interesting, cool stuff. We're only available on iOS right now, so if you can pull us up in the App Store, you'll see we have about 4.7 stars, over 1.5 thousand ratings or so. That's growing pretty much every day, so we're very fortunate for that. Majority of us are located in West Palm. We have a very tight-knit and talented team over here, and we're looking to add about 2 to 3 more senior iOS native developers. And I could, if Todd, if you can give me the screen share for a second.
I think you should be able to. Is it not letting you?
Oh, let me see. You see that?
Yep, looks good.
So this is our product over here. If you guys don't have an Instagram business account, this is what it looks like once you log in. We really nailed it, I think, with the best times to post, which was one of our most simplest features, but that's really where the user spends a lot of their time. So our retention rate is pretty significantly high. We already have hundreds of paying subscribers right now. And you can see we have, all right, so over here is a dashboard, the watched hashtags, all the different hashtags that will gain engagement depending on your category. Top trending hashtags, anything else that we can provide hashtag based is being pulled directly from Instagram as well. We offer a couple other features right now. Instagram mapping, which we call Instamap, just kind of highlights in different areas that Instagram influencers take pictures at, and the scheduler, grid planner, and discovery areas. Yeah, that's the majority of this part of the app. We're working on a few very high level things that I can't necessarily disclose right now, but the few developers that we're looking for are going to really help to lead the way on that part of the platform.
Montesh, do we have a link for you to if we want to submit our resumes, if we have friends or iOS developers?
Yeah, you should be able to send it
on the chat.
Yeah, 1 second.
And Montesh, are you Montesh at dnaforinsta.com?
1 second, I'll just post it in the chat for you guys.
Hey, this is Joe. I just wanted to throw a quick couple words in for Montesh and his company. His office is actually across the street from my office, so I see his team here and there pretty frequently in downtown West Palm. And I know it seems like a majority of the people on the call are actually from further south in South Florida. So the neat thing too, if you're paying attention to Brightline in the future, is their office is only about 3 blocks from the Brightline station. And downtown West Palm is normally nice. It looks really crappy and stormy right now. I don't know what it's looking like outside your window, but you know, they have a really but they have a really neat company, and he's one of the more capable founders you'll ever meet in South Florida. So if you want to get a startup type app type vibe going with your career, I can think of no other better company right now in South Florida than Montesh and DNA for Insta. Garnered, I would come up here in a way that didn't look like a tropical storm outside.
And just to let you guys know, thanks, Joe. Definitely really appreciate the kind words, man. So just to give you guys an update too, like, it doesn't have to be a local position. I mean, the majority of us are over here. We have one developer in Arizona as well. It's not required to be in the office, and obviously right now with everything going on, not necessarily required as well. And then to touch on Joe's point for kind of the background, so I'll just chat about that for a quick minute or so. When I came down to West Palm, I definitely believe in Joe's vision of like West Palm being a tech capital at some point soon. I thought it was going to happen much sooner. I think now is actually going to be a great pivot for West Palm to become that. I came down with that same notion. I brought my advertising agency down here as well. So my other company is called 3 Blue Media. We work with a lot of the major brands, Kraft, Ford, GM, all the big guys for brand distribution. We average about 3 million video views a day on our properties. And that's been my business for the last 10 years or so. And we built that with the team internally. The team to me is everything. That's the culture for the team. The same team that's helped build 3 Blue into the multi-million-dollar company that it is has helped build DNA as well. We're a very tight-knit team. We really believe in what we do. And we love the startup vibe. The whole entrepreneurial startup vibe that's our thing. Yeah, love it.
Awesome, Montesh. Thank you so much. Really excited to have you here in West Palm. But I want to move things along and gonna highlight a job that is not here in West Palm, a company that comes to us from a couple of time zones away. So I'm going to introduce actually a really good personal friend of mine, Karoline, and her colleague Vishal from SRT Labs, which is a very cool business that you're about to hear about. Let's take it away, Karoline.
Thank you so much, Todd. Yeah, that's right. I knew Todd from 2009 when we were both professors. My background is theoretical mathematics. Our CEO is space robotics. His PhD is in that. So we're a pretty geek-tastic crowd over here. We have built what I'll call mission control center for smart building ecosystems. So tying in all sorts of IoT, robotics. Our goal has and is still to be hardware agnostic. So bringing in the pieces that a facility, a building, an infrastructure needs in order to make all the pieces work together, and then getting to do some pretty cool data analytics around it. We are a software company. We've had some requests into some hardware work, so we do some hardware development. And we were work from home before pandemics were cool. So as Todd mentioned, I'm currently in Utah. We used to be based in DC. Most of our team is still in the DC area. We have some over here in outside of the mountains in Utah, which I actually just pointed to out my front window because I thought you all could see that. Obviously, that's really not how cameras work on computers.
I was looking behind me. There was nothing there. You're right.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We definitely need people who are independent, self-starters, willing to work by yourself and from home, but yet collaboratively with a team across technology. So our team is very good at that. One of the things that as I left academia and started into other jobs, I realized something that really mattered to me was autonomy over my own time. And I think that provided you work all the time, you totally have that with our company, like up in the air. And we also are exceptionally family friendly. Like we get that life happens and try to be really flexible around that. On the call with me now, oh, and we're growing really quickly. So we're an early stage startup, have several contracts coming through the door now. So we're going to be hiring probably across a myriad of skill sets and across all levels. So if it's of interest at all and you're someone who just really likes your couch, then working for us, even when the pandemic's over, might be your sweet spot. But I have Vishal on the call to talk about what we're looking for right now as the immediate need, like who we needed yesterday.
Hey everyone. So our immediate need is a front-end developer or full-stack developer who understands React or Angular and can also work with Node.js. We are also recruiting someone for the backend, but that's not the immediate need for us. So we have a few projects in our pipeline which requires remodeling and designing the front end. So yeah, happy to answer any technical questions or anything in detail.
I think we're going to have FAQs, Todd, at the end, or do we want to?
Yeah. So we're gonna, I'm gonna move things along. Thank you so much, Karoline and Vishal, for coming to us from far away. I'm gonna introduce our next hiring manager, and then in the end we'll have time for question and answer, and I'll take things off of the spotlight video into a grid or whatever, and let people kind of ask more openly as long as it doesn't get too crazy. So thank you again, SRT Labs. I want to now, if I can find among here, introduce Rebecca Schoonover from Synergis Creative. There she is. So Rebecca, take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. I was really excited to get involved with this. So the company I work for is called Synergis, and we're an IT and creative staffing agency. So we really focus on those skill sets with IT and creative, including UX, UI, copy and content, and so forth. But our company has been around for over 23 years. I've been with the company for 3 years. We're actually headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia, with offices in LA and San Francisco. So we work with awesome clients all throughout the US, but I'm originally from Martin County, Florida, just north of Jupiter, and I've been working remotely back home in Florida for 2.5 years. So just getting back involved with Palm Beach area and South Florida is kind of my passion, and bringing what we can offer to the tech world down here is really what I'm looking for. So we work with clients, including like Google and Apple and LinkedIn, the Home Depot, Southern Company, both on the IT and creative side, in contracts, perm, SOWs, freelance. So we have a lot of great people that we can skill market. But I did want to talk about one freelance UX position we have currently with a media company, news media company. It's a 1 to 2 month contract, fully remote with potential to extend. It's focusing on a voter information tool for a public service product, really aggregating that data nationwide across different districts. So someone who has 5+ years experience working with Sketch, consumer facing is really what they're looking for. So if anyone's interested in more of a mid to senior UX designer that's looking for a short freelance gig, definitely can get you in touch with the right people and skill market you to our client.
Awesome, thank you. I see that Sanju has her hand raised, and I wasn't sure if you had a question.
Okay, the question is not for her. I had a question for Vishal, so maybe we could take it at the end of the session.
Okay, yeah. I won't lower your hand. I'll keep it up, and we'll come right back to you. Okay.
Sure.
So real quick, are there any questions for Rebecca on the UX remote position? If not, I am going to pass things off to Everett Young, who is from I hope I don't botch this, Everett, but from Secberus. So let me have turn it over to Everett.
Great. Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone. So my name is Everett Young. I'm one of the co-founders at Secberus. We're a venture-backed startup headquartered out of Miami. I'm actually based in California, so we have a pretty distributed team. And we're hiring right now for 2 positions for our company. We're a cloud security startup, so we're in a space that's called CSPM, which is Cloud Security Posture Management. We look at the infrastructure, the cloud infrastructure that companies have, and provide them with compliance monitoring for things like GDPR, HIPAA, PCI, and security monitoring. And we're growing. We had 3 people in the company in December of 2018. We're currently at 17 people right now. And we're adding just about 2 positions every month and a half right now. So right now we're looking for a front-end software engineer and a senior software engineer full stack. We're basically working with Python, Go, and React. And we, let's see what else. We are also heavily involved in trying to develop some patents. So we've got a couple of provisionals that we've already put out in the last 2 months, and we've got a few more in the pipeline. So lots of opportunities to be involved in patent development, creating patents here. And we've got a pretty fun team. We're mostly engineering based out of Miami. We've got 1 engineer out in Austin, everybody else in between Miami and St. Augustine and Tampa. So a triangle in there where people are based out of. Where our engineering team is predominantly work from home and will probably remain that way. Our sales team is going to be based out of the Miami office, and our CEO, Faisal Lenberg, will be based out of Miami, and I will be based out of California, and we've got a couple other people who are going to be moving out here as well. So yeah, that's us. There's information on the positions that we are hiring for. I will post that in the chat channel. And it says you can send the applications to jobs, but you can also just send them directly to me. I will add that email as well. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Everett. I really appreciate it. Since Everett is our, actually, before I turn it over to the Q&A, do we have any hiring managers that are on that didn't reach out to me? Anyone that I don't know about? If so, we have about 3 minutes. If somebody wanted to jump in. Seeing none, I will turn things over to the Q&A. Before we open it up, there were 2 questions that I think remained unanswered. One was for City Furniture. Stephen Sinclair was asking about more information about the analytics position. And then so let's let them talk about that. And then after that, I think Sanju had a question for Vishal.
So I threw that out there on the analytics. Ian Sawyer was on the call earlier, so he probably would have been able to go into detail. Offhand, I believe it's sales analytics and operations analytics. They're most likely leadership positions.
Sasha, I think Ryan Fattini is on the call. So maybe.
Okay. Yes. Ryan, how are you? Ryan, do you know what's in pipeline?
Hi, Sasha.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a couple spots open, one on the analytics side. There might be 2 on the analytics side and 1 on the data engineering side. But
okay.
what we're really looking for is more of a hybrid type of an associate where they know the engineering side and the data science side. So they can basically build a model, but also bring it into production. So someone that's versed in software development, and the data science. I know it sounds like a unicorn, but it's not. There's a lot of engineers and a lot of software developers that can build models, that can move them into production. That way we can kind of synchronize basically the analytics and the engineering side. So we are interested in anybody that sounds like something that they're interested in doing.
And if you're not said unicorn, October 10th and 11th, Boca Code is doing a training, a weekend-long crash course to turn you into said unicorn.
Right. It's not a unicorn. We have about 3 of these types, and we're looking for another one. Specifically for analytics, Sasha, I think sales and e-commerce, they're looking for specifically in e-commerce and sales,
yeah.
sales analyst.
Yeah, there's a few.
And just to remind the all of the candidates that are on this call, which I haven't had a chance to welcome you all, but thank you guys for joining us. This is for you too. I know for City Furniture, they have, is it jobs.cityfurniture.com?
Yes.
So if you go to that website, you can look for all the listings, get the information, see how to apply.
And I've shared my direct email for any inquiries about the analytics directly, so you can send that to me. And there's more talks of other positions in the pipeline. So
Sasha's a great contact because she knows about all the positions. So
yeah,
she's a great person to have in your contact book. Awesome. Stephen, I hope did that answer your question?
Yeah, that was very helpful. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Sanju, do you want to direct your question to Vishal now?
Oh yeah, yes. So my question is, is it something they're working on a migration project? Migrating that?
No, actually, we are building a product ground up.
Okay.
So we have a module which is full stack. So it has Node as backend, and it has React as front end, and we have an analytics module. We have Kafka database. So there's a lot of things that we work on right now, and the position we are looking for is full stack or front end. But if you are a developer, you could take up that piece. Right? It's not a strict restriction, and we provide help in understanding and learning those languages as well. So let's say you have more understanding of Angular. That should not stop you from developing React at all. I had no experience before I got into this project. I never programmed in JavaScript, but now I can make projects. So that's the environment we are trying to create over here.
I think the biggest job requirement to work for SRT Labs, as Karoline said, is you have to be a nerd, right?
We actually have a pretty strict screening process.
Other questions for our hiring managers? Feel free to jump in if you have a question since.
Sure, cool. I have a question. How you doing? I'm a recent Ironhand grad. I was wondering if Vishal, if you have any preference when it comes to state management libraries. Are you more fond of Redux? Are you fond of MobX? What's your take on that? Thank you.
State management libraries. Is that your question? Sorry.
Yes, he's asking the front end. Yeah.
Yeah. The current front end language we use is entirely React, and we have some of our developers working on Storybook. So some of the content that we develop is purely React. Some is a mixture of React and Storybook and different other JavaScript libraries, D3 and analytics. So what we are trying to build is modules, different modules that can provide different interactions to the executives who are using our dashboard, to the users who really don't understand tech, and they don't really care about 15,000 buttons and details. So it's morely visual small and soft visual cues. Let's say you have a temperature sensor that's throwing off an error. So it's just going to be a notification sent to their app or sent to their dashboard, telling them about this is something wrong. Please take a look. So that's the technology that we are using. On the back end, we have Node.js and C++ at the core, but the C++ interacts with robotics platform, which is one of our another module that we are working on. We also work with Kafka. I'm not sure if you're more interested in front end or back end, but just want to give you a good scenario, a good understanding of what the technologies we use. We also use Kafka and Kubernetes for scaling and obviously containers to make it more flexible for DevOps and MongoDB as backend.
Cool, thank you.
No problem.
Awesome. Other questions?
I have one for Vishal as well. Do you guys use React Native as well?
No, we don't. So our front end is entirely desktop based,
Okay.
but it's mobile friendly, and that's something we started developing recently. So our CSS files weren't native enough, but we are expanding, and we realize that our clients and our users need mobile applications, Android and iOS. So at some point, we will start developing React Native iOS.
Vishal, how many people are on your team currently?
On the tech side, we have six of us, I think 7 including me, and overall, I think it's 15 plus.
Great.
Oh. So do you use Kendo UI? I mean, do you have any plans, or have you been using Kendo? What do you use for?
No, actually, no. We don't use Kendo UI.
Great stuff. Any other questions for our hiring managers? Sorry, go ahead, Tristan.
Hi, I'm Tristan. I'm a recent Code graduate, and one of the things I wanted to ask almost every hiring manager was, as someone who just recently grad, and I don't really have, I would call it proof of long-term development skills. How would someone like me be able to join your team, even if on paper I don't have those skills? How will someone like me who's trying to get into the business start?
There's the $1 million question.
100%.
I think in my experience, Tristan, I would say that the best way for developers is to, or like in general, is to have a profile and like online. And if you are a developer, like I will advise you to have a GitHub account, that for sure. And if you can also like collaborate in the open source projects, there's a billion of projects out there looking for, for help. You will learn that for sure out of the code there, and also it will give you the experience, and it's like very easy to showcase that you are working, So yeah, that would
just add to what Ishmael said as well. It's important to just go after your passion project too. Start building something awesome. A couple different projects, put them in the App Store, get some people using it, get some user feedback, and that's going to teach you a ton of experience.
Yeah, I would add on to that is just by getting some projects under your belt, even if they're on your own, half the time these interviews go in the direction of talking about the projects you've done, or talking about a hypothetical project. And if you've already kind of been doing that or contributing to that on the side, then it'll not only build your skill set, but prepare you to have those types of conversations when it comes into the real interviews.
That's some great advice. Oh, please go ahead, Everett.
I don't think I can add too much more to that since I'm not the technologist on my team. But what I can add, I think, is that as we have done interviews in the past with, we've hired 2 other people who were junior developers. And in both of those cases, they were people who were very active in open source projects. So some of our other engineers had actually, chatted with them in Slack channels or on GitHub in other projects, and they got to know them through that. For us right now, we're not hiring any junior people, but I'm sure we will in the future. And very often that's just sort of one way in the door that gives you an edge up on somebody who's just throwing in a brand new application, doesn't have any contact or any GitHub history or any other project history. And then the last thing for us is, even one of the big challenges for the 2 junior people that we had, this was the largest code base that they had ever worked on when they joined us. And they struggled for the first week and a half just trying to wrap their heads around what the heck was going on. So, just getting on some of those bigger open source projects or whatever it is that exposes you to a larger code base, something that might be more realistic to what's in production in any one of the hiring companies, that'll be helpful.
Thank you, all of you.
Todd, I did want to add there, I dropped it in chat as well, but just I think in general, just, like everybody's saying, doing the projects, but also joining community things like hackathons, volunteering, just getting out there and meeting people in general. And this goes, I think, for any job outside or inside of technology, is a lot of times you do meet people at these community events, and that's how you're starting to make connections. That actually, a perfect example is Todd. Actually, I know just hired one of his staff at one of our events as well. So just getting out there to meet people, because you never know who you're going to be sitting next to, and it could be your future, hiring manager. Yeah,
that's absolutely right, Nikki. I hired Jen, who's our operations manager, right from one of the Palm Beach Tech events. And I've Tristan, in this regard, I've actually I've hired a lot of junior developers over the years, some straight out of code school. And what I was looking for, because we had more senior people on the staff that could mentor them, I was looking for juniors that I could kind of help mold and mentor and build. And what I was looking for wasn't necessarily, even though everyone gave really good advice, getting involved in projects and community things, like Nikki said, hackathons, I really just wanted to see that you were passionate about it. And, I'm going to call out Victor. I don't know if he's still on this call, but Victor has been in touch with me. He's a junior developer. He just finished, I don't want to call him a junior developer. He's a developer. He just finished code school as well. And, before he went to code school, he took hundreds of hours of courses online. He then went to code school. He then continued taking more courses online. And that passion for learning and for expanding your toolkit, that shows me as somebody that you're still wanting to learn. And so if I bring you under my belt, I know that you're going to want to learn from me and want to absorb as much as possible. So being able to demonstrate that in whatever way you can, whether it's through continuing to learn, building your own projects, there's Victor, and just doing things and being involved in the community. And you never know who you're gonna bump into that's gonna be like, wow, you're just what I'm looking for, Tristan. Awesome. Well, on that note, if there's no other pressing questions, I think all the hiring managers, I want to thank you again for joining this. My aim was to keep this under an hour, and we're right there. I really want to thank you guys all for participating. I'm gonna cut this video, cut a couple little parts out of this video maybe before I post it online, but I'll try and make this available online. I want to apologize again for that Zoom bomb. Clearly I had something to get off my chest. But you know, you guys are amazing. Join Palm Beach Tech, join the Boca Code Slack, check out City Furniture, check out, you know, SRT Labs and Synergis and Secberus and DNA for Insta. I mean, some really cool companies doing amazing tech, AI, and all kind of robotics and amazing stuff. So this is an incredible community to be involved in. And thanks, Joe and Nikki and Sasha and everybody who helped me organize this, and everyone else for tuning in. You guys rock, and we'll see you on Slack.
Nice meeting you all. You guys are all amazing. Thank you.
You. Thanks, Sasha.
Thank you guys for taking this time.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Todd, for making a great or you know, event. 50 people strong, and congratulations.
Thank you, Damien. Couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah. Yes, you could.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, sir.